Live from the WardiTV Christmas Invitational. It was played last night. We're just casting it now to fill some time between tournaments. So let's, with that knowledge, jump on into this, shall we? We have got to the top left-hand side, the red Protoss player from Armor Team. This is ShoWTimE. Bottom right-hand side, our blue Zerg is Bly. Wardy, if I hide the extension, do I still get watching XP? I'm pretty sure you can minimize the extension so that as long as your mouse isn't over the screen, it will just be minimized and it doesn't show back up at all. So it doesn't show back up until you click on it or something like that. I think. I don't know how it works, honestly. I'm not an expert of extensions, but I'm pretty sure, well, if it's minimized, it's completely fine. Alright, so kicking this off, we've got Bly in the bottom right, ShoWTimE in the top left, and a probe currently coming across the map to see what's going on. This is a best of 5 that we're going to be casting here. Hopefully we're done in 50 minutes and able to jump through. Don't buy it through Wardy. You know what, I'm just going to ban you straight up. I'm not even going to bother reading the message and shaming you because you're actually just an idiot. Leeches like Wardy. I am such a leech. I only spent $10,000 on StarCraft tournaments this year. I am such a leech. I hate it when I put $10,000 into the StarCraft community. God damn it. I hate it when I take them... Oh. Literally makes no sense. I mean, you don't have to like the content. You also don't have to be as literally stupid as a fucking donkey. I've actually met donkeys that are cleverer than you. And I actually have. I once met a donkey, and I patted on her head, and it made a happy sound. Which takes more intelligence than what you're capable of. So, 10 out of 10. Couple queens on the way up here from Bly. Overlord is coming up, and obviously nothing too crazy to get things started in this PvZ. We're going to see an Adept getting trying to burst it out here in the early stages. Stargate on the way up in the main base from ShoWTimE. A very standard way to get going, especially for someone like ShoWTimE. He loves to play the macro. He loves to go later into the game, so opening up with a Stargate is a very good way to go. Adept shading out into the middle of the map. I'm going to see this probe just coming across over to the right-hand side here to see what's happening on the third base. So, third hatchery coming down. Long speed coming into the main. All of this getting set, ready to go as we do see this Adept coming around, and a couple of Zerglings just going to try and chase that Adept down as it jumps up in towards the main. Shout out to you guys who continue to spam that extension command to help people out. Thank you guys, appreciate the support and the help. Well, as well, I'll just say though, a couple of people asking about replay packs and stuff. We've got a new replay pack coming up in a day or so. So not only when you subscribe will you get access to our new replay pack, you'll also get access to our old replay pack, which features marital replays and more. We put out hundreds of replays every month, and this month has been stacked with games of StarCraft. So we've got loads of replays. So if you'd like to see more of them, just be a subscriber. They're available on our Discord server. Now, Bly has made a lot of lings and cut drones to make these Zerglings. So they're going to be running around the bottom left-hand side. A single ling coming along the far left as well. Just going to be hanging out over here. Second gate being added in. Stargate coming down in the main as we see the Oracle picks up about 3 drones here. So ShoWTimE able to get a couple of kills so far. First Oracle being fairly successful. And honestly, if you look at the work accounts here, 41 probes to 30 drones. ShoWTimE's obviously in a bit of a lead at the moment, and is continuing to put himself into a nice little position so far. So ShoWTimE doing himself justice with some good play as this Oracle loops around the bottom. Some Zerglings hanging out on the left. And we do see this warp gate just coming into play now as well. It's going to be finishing up, and an Adept going to start warping in. Oracle of ShoWTimE comes all the way back over to the far left side here. Zergling getting picked off. This probe of ShoWTimE just having a little bit of a wander as well. Zerglings still just hanging out. A couple of Phoenix on the way up as this Adept, has to be careful, does pull back. Double Stargate Phoenix then, so ShoWTimE really going into this very harassment-heavy build, looking to get a lot of efficiency out of his early units. A few more Phoenixes gathering together. Zergling's going to come forwards. We see the Oracle able to pick up a couple more kills, but still Bly unable to do much as we see the Lair on the way up. And a +1 melee upgrade, so going to play that Ling heavy style is actually very good against the Phoenix, and ShoWTimE might even be forced into a couple of Oracles here. If Bly was still making Lings already, he actually would have a really good shot of taking down this third base. There's no Twilight Council very quickly, so no super fast glaives or anything from ShoWTimE. Just Phoenix coming up. Those Adepts and the Sentry hanging out on the third, as we have these Phoenix that are going to head into the main base in the next couple of moments. So, going into the main. We're going to be seeing a couple of drones continue to get picked off here. And this is obviously the kind of expected damage from the Phoenix, although losing one to the Spore Crawler is very unlike ShoWTimE, just pulling back a little bit too late there. How do you remove the war chest thing? Pish, you can't possibly have asked me and say I didn't know, because I literally used the extension button in the middle center of the bottom of your screen. The extension command tells you exactly where to find it, and that's why you can do all the things such as hiding the war chest thing and everything else. So you can just hide it, you can get rid of it, you don't have to see it. I definitely didn't say I didn't know though, because I definitely did know. Horstum with the big old host. Thanks for playing today, Horstum. Appreciate it, dude. Thanks for signing up. I know you don't like playing on the NA server and stuff, but I really do appreciate you playing. It's really awesome to see you play, get to cast some of your games and stuff. It was fun. Appreciate it. Hello everyone from Horstum Streams. How are you doing? Can we get some 07s in the chat? Whether you're coming in from Horstum Stream or if you're just welcoming new viewers in, let's see some 07s. Let's give them a big warm welcome as we're setting up into this Best of 5 ShoWTimE Bly series, guys. Again, just a bit of a recap on what's going on. This is played last night. We're just filling about an hour or so here. In fact, 45 more minutes. We're just filling 45 minutes of time until the Slay Them All tournament starts, which is going to have Raynor versus Soul, Goblin versus Bly, and other matches. So we're just casting this bonus series just so we don't go offline and back online. So yeah, stick around, watch some StarCraft with us. We're live all day today. After this, we've got 5 more Best of 5s coming up. So we really are around all day today. So good to have you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And hopefully you're all caught up on what we're up to at the moment. Good to see so many 07s in the chat as well. Do you see Stasis Ward coming in on the far left as the Lings will wander forwards, but a few Adepts will have something to say about that. Phoenix coming down the center, a couple of Lings running by. Storm on the way up from ShoWTimE on that Templar Archives in the back of the main base. And again, these units just continue to gather up together. Another High Templar or two continuing to warp in. 30 Zerglings on the way up. That Baneling Nest about to finish. And the Hive about to finish up as well. So going in towards, well, straight away the Hive is actually very fast from Bly. I'm intrigued. What do you even do with such a fast Hive on Ling Bane? I mean, Ultras? Question mark? I mean, surely not, but maybe. Maybe. I see some Phoenix hanging out on the bottom. Zergling's heading out towards the center and across towards the left-hand side here then. There's a lot of Lings going to start running forwards here. The High Templar don't have Storm yet, so ShoWTimE needs to try and buy a few seconds. That Stasis Ward will be set off on just a couple of Zerglings, and here we go. Force Field's available, though, and so the Force Field should buy enough time for Storm to come up. And the Phoenix coming back as well. They have the energy to lift up the Banelings if they'd like to, so there is basically just free damage waiting to happen. Phoenix is going to go after the Oracle now and, again, chase those Banelings down. So Bane's being chased away. As you do see, the Warp Prism loads up a few Zealots, going to take those over towards the main base. And again, just going to find a chance to pick off a few of those Banes here. There goes one. And a couple drones will go down over the next few moments as well. So, a few kills. Nicely done. And then pulling back in towards this mineral line where we see 6 workers killed. The Queen's still coming in, but the Phoenix going to have to continue pulling it back. So it is Ultras from Bly. That fast Hive being used for the Ultras. Not the kind of usual, kind of regular go-to, but well, it is one way to play it. He's been behind on supply all game long. He took a lot of damage early. Look at that resources lost. If ShoWTimE hadn't lost that one Phoenix, the Adept and the Probe, that's just crazy. He's killed so much this game with the initial Phoenix opening, which is kind of what you really want to do. It's just put him far enough ahead. Now Prism plane to the main gives him access to drop down force fields on this ramp, stop the Zerglings coming through en masse. He can kill those Zerglings, he can kill this hatchery, and ShoWTimE knows for a fact that this is a guaranteed kill. So drones are going down. What a play by ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE is just so good with these timings. As he storms the drones, he's going to... No, for a moment I thought the High Templar were going to go finish off the last couple of drones there. Just pulls back to be safe instead. Ultras comes forwards, but I mean, these are immortals. As long as they target fire the Ultra, It should go down pretty quickly. Nice force field to block the Zerglings off a little bit. Some storms to help out. First Ultra down, 16 drones and a base. ShoWTimE with a killer time in here, though he does catch 2 reinforcing Immortals in the middle. Bly able to get a little bit of counter damage done at least. As now the Banes, though, being picked up. Overseer's being targeted down. Don't think there's any big follow-up to this or anything like, oh my god, I've got DTs. Just the fact that you may as well kill those Overseers with the Phoenix overhead, as Lings will latch themselves onto that 4th base, though. ShoWTimE will not be there in time to defend and will also get distracted on the way as his army getting surrounded. So storms coming through, but now these Ultras are going to jump on a set of Immortals that have barriers already popped. And, well, no High Templars left over, so a little bit of an opportunity there from Bly. ShoWTimE still winning out in these fights, though. I mean, resources lost has now gone to 9,000 versus 4.8k. So it's actually doubled in terms of the difference between the resources lost from 2k to 4k in the last couple of fights. That's how well ShoWTimE is somehow still trading here and just getting himself further and further ahead. Wall is open, though. ShoWTimE definitely making a couple of mistakes as we see probes going down all over the place. 11, 12, 13, 14. Probes all over, just continuing to fall on down. A few more Lings running back in towards this natural mineral line as the Archon coming in. Zerglings continue to be cleaned out. Probes are going to transfer over towards the natural, and the Phoenix from ShoWTimE coming in to try and keep on harassing as well. Zerglings on the bottom side of the map. 4 more Infestors on the way up. The Tempest on the way out. So Zergling's going to jump on the 4th again. That's a cancel. Oracle will just pop its Pulsar Beam. Pull off as many of these Zerglings as possible. May as well get something for the fact that he's losing pylons and assimilators. ShoWTimE just being pulled up to the top, down to the bottom, kind of all over the place a little bit. Just going to be seeing the Zerglings continue to be picked away at here. So again, good damage being dealt. A few Tempests on the way up from ShoWTimE. So still getting those up and rolling. Corruptors on the way out here from Bly as well. And as you see, a bunch of drones going down. Phoenix able to get a few of those there. And again, still being useful to this stage of the game. I mean, having only lost still 1 Phoenix throughout the game, every time they are gaining energy, it's 1 more unit that's pretty much going to go down for free. It's just so much of an advantage for ShoWTimE. He was definitely maneuvered and manipulated his way into a very strong position here in game number 1. Now we look to see if he can close this out. Ling's going to be heading into the middle. We see the Tempest coming over. We see the Neuroparasite and +3 melee on the way down as well. What are your opinion on the new Tempests? I mean, they're great, right? I mean, they can move very fast. They can... I think they're very good at what they do. I think it's really good. Maybe... I haven't seen them enough to say if it's too good or something, but I think they're very good. I think they're fun. Good change. Let's see a few more Zards being warped in. I think the great thing is we still see carrier production, right? So now we see a mix of Tempests and carriers depending on the game situation, which I think is really, really awesome. And there is pressing forwards here. Going to be seeing a storm going down, Immortals and Archons. In the front again, Fungal Growth. I mean, that's a little bit of a hopeful something from Bly, who doesn't really get much out of those Fungals. Phoenix lifting up all of the Queens now, making sure that Transfuses aren't going down. Infestors getting lifted up as well, so they can't escape out of this. And ShoWTimE just has enough to brute force his way through this bottom side of the map. Another Queen going to fall. I mean, another couple of Queens backing away still. Tempest still coming forwards, Immortals and Zealots as well. So many units. As we're going to be seeing a storm on top of the Queen, on top of the Corruptors. Archons here again underneath, ready to pick off even more of these Corruptors here. So Corruptors keep on going down. Zealots will chase those drones away to the top side. Hatchery gets picked off here as well. Templar continuing to drop. As we're going to be seeing the Spore dropping, the Lings dropping. And again, this army of Bly still just maneuvering, manipulating itself into a bit of a tough spot. I mean, it's not really manipulating anything, the Zerg army. It's just dying, really, to put it brashly and simply. It really, really is. Going to see this Ultras goes down and continue to kite away. ShoWTimE just targeting down Ultras, ignoring the Zerglings. The Ultras are the big expensive units here. Lifts a couple of low health Immortals with the Phoenix to keep them alive from those Zerglings. Storms come down as Bly throws his last couple of units into this army, and now he's got 20 army supply and nothing left. ShoWTimE takes game number 1. Mark War Chest if you want to check that out. Thanks to Blizzard and Twitch for setting this up for us streamers. And let's kick this off. As to the top right-hand side, we have ourselves the red Protoss player from Armor Team. He is up a game. This is ShoWTimE. Bottom left-hand side, our blue Zerg player is Bly. You're using my portrait and only 1312 in slowly? I'm absolutely not even disgusted. I'm proud. I mean, that's what, you know, you go into the game with the Wardy portrait staring you down, you should expect to get 1312. You can see this drone going to drop down to low ground. This probe just hanging out on the natural. We have a drone on the way up, gateway coming in as well. do just see a simulator dropping down to the right-hand side on the main base, and an Overlord and a drone hitting out onto the map. So the drone's interesting. In the end, he does go pool first after being blocked on the hatch first, but we'll go into a hatchery as well. Does he want to try and Nexus block? He's going to try to, and I think he will get there in time to. Run around a little bit, stop the Nexus coming down. It's going to be a little bit frustrating for ShoWTimE to deal with, as Probe will immediately turn and fight that drone. And drone tries a little bit of in and out micro. Is again trying to stay in position on top of the Nexus position, but really doesn't delay at all. ShoWTimE will throw down a Cyber Core first, though. Interesting. Didn't really need to there. The drone had backed away. The drone probably going to try and become an assimilator, but probably can't. Actually starts up a hatchery in the main base. Okay, well, I mean, this is to do nothing more other than to kind of pull ShoWTimE out of position and to get ShoWTimE and pull a few probes onto this. But this is 300 minerals from Bly that he's investing into a hatchery that will not end up doing anything. And so it's money that he will get back mostly during the cancel, but it's delaying when he can spend that money, obviously. So that obviously really will hurt for him here. As we do have, well, first signals are about to pop out, and they will start to come across the map. Bly's made more than 6 as well. He's gone up to 10 at the moment. Eyes on the production tab to see if he adds any more. So 8 on the map, 2 in production. Let's see what Bly builds next. He's actually going to be supply blocked without an Overlord, or I guess the hatchery will help him out there. So hatchery finishes, and well, then he does get a bit of supply to bake Queen. So it is Queen's next on the agenda. As the probe goes down, so the Ling's not rushing across the map. Bly's gas just slowly coming up here now. It's coming up towards 100, so getting that going in a moment or so. As this probe just continues to nibble its way through that hatchery in the main base. Nice wall off here from ShoWTimE as well. Dropping that gateway down. Going to be seeing a couple of these Lings running around up to the top side. Never a little bit of picked off here, but Morling is going to get in now, and this is going to start becoming a bit of an issue. ShoWTimE just did not have his Adept in position, so these extra Lings are going to catch ShoWTimE a bit off guard, and that's a dead pylon. Dead pylon means that there is not going to be extra units coming out here past these 2 Adepts, though he will repower this gate and Cyber Core pretty quickly, while walling off in the process. So ShoWTimE is getting a bit of an answer up, but again, delays on the gateway and so on, and Bly is only on 16 drones, and he's starting to build more. 18 drone Lings on the way. And he's just going to go into masses of drones. He's also got Lings coming out of the main base hatchery. This puppet got killed. ShoWTimE didn't really respect it. Never pulled probes in to help take it down. So Bly is... Bly's in a little bit of trouble there. Now this Adept will go down. It's walled out, so it was not to be... it was expected in some extent. I think the hatchery in the main base is the biggest issue, because a Queen on the way out here. And ShoWTimE, again, just did not respect the fact that that hatchery was going to start producing units. Now these Lings are being annoying. The Queen's just poking. And again, sure, right now it's just poking around, but it pulls the depths away from the main, from the low ground wall off, which means these Lings can get a surround on the Cybernex core. And that Cyber Core with Warp Gate being delayed before, now doesn't have Warp Gate finished. He might have to shield battery up the Cyber Core. He tries to Chrono Boost here. He needs to shield battery this. He will start to. Is it enough? Oh, it's still going down, I think. I mean, the shield battery is going to run out of energy, and the Chrono is close, but it's not enough. So Warp Gate doesn't even finish here, and Bly will continue to knock on the door of ShoWTimE. Very aggressively, though. He's not the sort of friendly neighbor who's just coming to tell you that, hey, your lights are on or something. He's like, hey, I want to come and kill you. It's like, psychopathic Zerg player trying to murder me in the middle of the night. It's not what you want, as the Lings running through. Probes pulling in to fight those Lings in the main. The shield battery here is also about to run out of energy, though, so extra Lings are really going to start making a difference. Bly is moments away from actually pushing through on the natural as well, which will open up a huge range of opportunity to deal damage. As you see, even just these 2 Queens in the main base. I mean, the fact that Queens here are dealing so much damage. So going to be seeing this Zard still dealing a few shots to that Queen. Going to be seeing, pull away, Queen, run, run, run. Transfuse comes down as it got the energy. Wow. First Queen was saved here. Second Queen is also going to be saved because he pushes the Adept back already. Oh my god, I'm just getting more probe kills. Queen back on creep. The Ling is still going on the front of the natural. I mean, ShoWTimE has been trying to defend this here. This Adept has 16 kills from trying to defend. But even that might not be enough as the Lings continue to jump on in towards this mineral line and just continue to deal so much damage. I mean, ShoWTimE is now on 20 probes. His probe count is still okay. It's just he needs to kind of somehow keep on defending. I think with Lings on the main, and soon to be Lings on the natural, it becomes almost impossible, perhaps. Zard and Adept in the main are just going to get hunted down by the Lings and the Queens. That Queen will fall, so finally that Queen goes down, but it picked up so much damage here. It added so much damage output to all of these units, and ShoWTimE's still trying to wall off, but he's just going to type out GG. Bly is going to take game number 2. Tie this one up. Content would be a lot less frequent. There would be a lot less of it in general as well. Top left-hand side, our red Protoss player. This is ShoWTimE. Bottom right, our blue Zerg is Bly. Game 3 of the series tied up 1-1. Again, we are filling some time because in half an hour, we're going to be casting Reyno versus Soul, Goblin versus Bly, and the rest of the group from the Slay Them All tournament by WardiTV. Wardy, check Twitter. You're playing high card. I already won, dude. I already won. I pulled the Jack against the 4-5. Easy. Easy. Hatchery drops down in the bottom corner of the main. And we do see that drone chilling out up on the top side of this here. You can see that Hatch taking some damages, obviously. Bly trying to play some shenanigans. Pylon block over here from ShoWTimE. Bly should be looking for a hatchery on his own side of the map as well, though, unless he's actually going to take this hatchery as well. Spank Me More says, got the war chest, Wardy. More money to spend for you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Again, if you're not aware, if you exclamation mark war chest, I get a percentage of every sale from my affiliate link. I'm putting all of the war chest money I earn into money for tournaments in 2019. I mean, again, we don't know how much it's going to be. I don't know how many I'm going to sell. If it's $10, $20, $100, $200, $500, we're putting it into a tournament for 2019. So, buy the war chest through my link. It'll go straight back into StarCraft tournaments. More content for you guys. That's what we aim for. Of course, if you don't like me enough to buy the war chest for me, go buy it through someone else. There's so many great streamers to buy it from. I mean, you could list off pretty much anyone in the StarCraft community and you can pretty much buy it from them. So do you go check that out? Rotron dropping down in the main base. Again, that's set to go as we do see a couple of Lings chasing this probe down. This hatchery here is kind of the big sort of, you know, ShoWTimE doesn't actually know what's going on move, isn't it? And this is actually still a proxy hatchery, just ShoWTimE has no idea about it. Rotron coming up. As ShoWTimE comes back across with this probe, if you can see the lack of a hatchery on the other bases, that would be huge for him. And he might be able to, but he pulls away. Okay. Bly is, well, going to start building roaches on this side of the map. And again, ShoWTimE, he does that on 2 more gates, so he's a little bit aware of something funky going up. 2 extra gates definitely isn't the usual response. There's Bradep coming over again. I mean, he just knows, like, there's no pylon being killed here or anything. Bly's not even attempting to take a natural. You reported the extension to Twitch? Why did you report it to Twitch? What's wrong with it? Because if there's something wrong with the extension, I can directly tell Blizzard to get it fixed. I can contact them. As you see a few shield batteries on the way up. Because it's obnoxious? I mean, Twitch designed it with Blizzard. So I don't think reporting it to Twitch is going to do very much. You can literally turn it off. Just go turn it off so you don't have to see it ever again. A couple of Ravagers getting picked off. There's these Roaches going to be taking a few shots as well. The extra Stalker Warpins, though, are going to shut this down hard. I'm just going to see the Stalkers keep on popping over. It keeps popping up after you told it to be invisible. Okay, that's fair enough. That is probably worth reporting. It's going to be seeing another Queen going down. Roach is still being chased. Honestly, the extra gateways are just giving ShoWTimE so much here. The Stalkers against these Roaches are fantastic. And there's no Speedlings to kind of punish the Stalkers either. So ShoWTimE's going to be able to start cleaning up this hatchery on the right-hand side. Seeing the Stalker's going to keep on setting up here. Roach taking a little bit of damage. Rav just coming down as well. Stalker's pulling back. And all the way along the top side. Extra Stalker's coming in through the top. This is actually a little bit problematic because these Stalkers are going to go down. Supply is going to open up a little bit of a opportunity now. ShoWTimE just has so much production though. He has shield batteries to fall back to as well if this army really does get a little bit too big. I think speed kicking in might be a big thing here. Taking some damage as the Stalkers pull back. There's one Ravager gets picked off. Stalkers again with the shield batteries here shouldn't really have any trouble. Link the speed kicking in again will help some surrounds on the Stalkers, but that's about it. And currently Bly is not being too successful with this proxy hatch play. Stalker does go down, does get away with the recall, doesn't go down. More Zerglings from Bly coming across the map. Ravagers gathering up as well. And then drop down a few corrosive bowels. Can I switch the corner the war chest minimizes to? No, I can't do anything about it. I really can't. Like, I know what you mean. It's kind of just in the middle of the screen. I don't know what to tell you. But if you mouse away from it, well, hold on, let's try to class this. Lings and Ravagers coming in. These Stalkers taking quite a bit of damage. He's going to continue try and push through here, but the amount of shield batteries is obviously pretty insane. So the amount of shield batteries is pretty good so far. Now an Immortal shows up as well, so ShoWTimE's bought enough time to get an Immortal out, and I'm pretty sure that puts him into kind of just like a winning position here. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, let's see what's up. Gonna see a couple of corrosive bars dropping down. Pylon goes down in the corner. Maynard has it going into the other corner. Like where? The top right? Like, does it go to the side of the screen or what? Oh, because it's on the right side of the screen, it actually goes to the side of the screen? Okay. I can probably do that, yeah. Let me try that in a moment after this game. Does that make sense if it minimizes to the top right of the window? If you have it on the right side, then it'll minimize to the right side of the screen, right? It minimizes to the left? Okay, then I have no idea. Then what corner does it go to? Like, it just goes to the flush left side of the screen? I don't know. Let's see, Lings and Ravagers continue to come forwards. Immortal's getting surrounded, but the Warp Prism is here to micro. I mean, with Warp Prism micro as well, this was already looking impossible. But it's not working out at the moment. User 65118, thank you so much for the 6-month resub. Rip? What are we ripping for, dude? Rip, you accidentally stayed subscribed. Ah! We're just taking a few shots here. Mortal's lifting up, dropping back down. Still trying to break free, but ShoWTimE's army just literally gets larger and larger, and Bly has really no hope of pushing through this. Like, with Immortals here and everything, Bly's the sort of player that will play until his last unit dies, but don't get me wrong, this is a game that could not really be much more over. Those force fields are going to just help a little bit further. ShoWTimE's so confident, he just keeps on pushing this out of his natural. He's got so many units here. A couple Stalkers get caught in a bile, but doesn't even care too much. The Zealots don't actually have charge. They were mostly here to help deal with the Zerglings, so against the Ravagers, the Zealots aren't actually the best at the moment. More Zealots and Stalkers continuing to go, pushing down this base to the right side. And now in the center again, just going to see the Stalkers, Immortal, and Zealots pushing forwards to deal with the Ravagers. More Zerglings coming through, more lifting up, dropping back down. A little bit of a dance here with all of these units. GG from Bly. You know why that is? It's because initially I thought, when it was asking me where I wanted to minimize to, I thought which corner of my stream did I want it in. So I wasn't actually sure. So yeah, I wasn't actually sure which one I wanted it in, so I didn't really think about that. Then I positioned it afterwards on a different setting, so there it goes. That should make it a little bit better, guys, a little bit less frustrating. As we have to the top left-hand side, our Red Protoss from Armor Team. This is ShoWTimE as we enter game number 4. This is the bottom right. This is our Blue Zerg Bly. Awesome. Hey, I'm glad we fixed it, guys. Sorry for all the complications. I know it's not fun listening to me to try and fix it, but hey, we got there. Again, in about 15 minutes' time, we're going live with Slay Them All. Going to be best of 5 matches. Going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be pretty awesome. Apparently, we're casting Group Candy Cane. I didn't even realize the groups had special names. Group Candy Cane. What's the other group called then? The other group's called Group Gingerbread. Oh, and then what? Playoffs? God damn it. Come on, Rivkin. Get on your name game a bit more. Can't just call the third set matches playoffs. It's boring. So yeah, in about 15 minutes time, we have some more live StarCraft 2 for you guys, courtesy of Base Trade TV, who are running a tournament and letting any community caster who wants to join in, come and join in. Really nice of them. The Slayoffs, there you go. It's perfect. How did Rivka not think of this? Well, you could call it the ultimate Slaydown. The final Slaydown. There's so many things you could do. You could call it Slaymas. I don't know. Literally anything but playoffs. Anyways, Nexus comes up on the natural expansion here. Depth being chrono boosted on this gateway. Overlord is going to get up to the high ground and stay hidden as we see a few Zerglings from Bly going to wander over. Pylon in the wall, going to help to stop these Lings from, well, getting in that direction. But there's still a gap to the other side. So ShoWTimE pulling back here on Kairos Junction. Honestly, there's no more Lings beyond this though, and so you should be able to protect the Pylon. I mean, that Pylon there also just helps you to wall in if there is more Zerglings coming, which there is not. So it's kind of a preemptive measure, and it keeps these gates powered as well if this Pylon does go down. So a couple of Lings coming down. Backing away now. You see a Queen dropping down, a crew team at the front. Stargate drops in the main base as well, so still just kind of expanding here and setting up into the next stages. Stargate very standard, obviously, for the first time in a couple of games. ShoWTimE doesn't have to deal with Bly being a bit of a nuisance and, you know, a real annoyance in the early stages, so that's obviously a big win for him as we do see a couple of Queens. They're going to run on over towards that Adept, push it away in the bottom left corner, and doesn't quite get the kill. As the few Zerglings will chase this Adept down. Go, Zerglings, go! We choose you! And they will go and kill that Adept. Nice shutdown there. Bly have a good pick off as we do see a second gateway being added on as well, so a couple of gates set up into position. He's going to come in and start nibbling their way through these rocks here as Ling Speed is again about to finish up in a few moments. Oracle, about halfway done now. There's extra gateways coming down, so already going into, again, just 2 extra gates before any sort of Twilight, any sort of Robo. With this, I would imagine a Twilight comes down, you go for like maybe like a Glaives follow-up, because you have a lot of gates already. That's on the Phoenix post-Oracle. That's not too weird just yet. Still just trying to see where this is going. Okay, well, there's the Twilight Council. I mean, just because if you get these gates, you really increase kind of gateway production. So if you increase in gateway production, it would make sense to get the Twilight, which upgrades gateway units, right? Pro pulling down to the natural. And as you see this Oracle from ShoWTimE, going to come around in towards the main base. Couple of Queens pushing that Oracle away through the south side. And you see the Phoenix is pushing that Overlord away over to the left. So that Overlord going to get shut down. So Overlord falls, and the Oracle about heading towards the main base here, but Queen's very quick to push that Oracle back. Again, Lair coming up here from Bly. Hatchery. Resonating Clave still on the way up from ShoWTimE at the moment. Still just setting up into this. As you do have that gateway moving into Warp Gate tech. ShoWTimE going to have some options right now. Some extra Adepts coming in then as you see the Rotron coming through. And again, Claves. It makes sense with the extra gates initially, so going to be setting up into this. Now, something ShoWTimE has done a lot lately is this Adept play, followed by a few Sentries and Immortals, and going into that much larger push, 8 gateways. And sometimes he commits to it, sometimes he backs away later on the third base and just kind of macros up, which is what ShoWTimE is so good at anyways, right? Macroing puts him into a good spot to play from. So the Depth's hanging out on the left-hand side. We do see this Phoenix from ShoWTimE pushing forwards, able to pick up a couple of shots onto that Overlord there, as Zerglings also just moving around as well. 7 Roaches continue to come on up. Roach speed coming through on the Rotron. Double Robo Facility coming in behind this Glaive, so really looking to crank up that Immortal attack. But with double Robo, I imagine he won't get too aggressive with Immortals because he won't have the gas to support double Immortal production, as well as the Sentries, which you kind of need to make that attack actually work out. So I would imagine he's not going to be at overly... I guess he still could. He starts charge already, though, which shows that he does just plan on sort of macroing up more than anything else. So definitely... again, just things that kind of line up here make sense. ShoWTimE making decisions as to basically how he wants to approach the rest of this game as we set up into this. Adepts again pulling back over to the left side. Oracle out in the middle of the map as well. coming over to the right-hand side. Creep spread pushing forwards. And we see those Zerglings from Bly coming around the top to see what's going to happen. Revelation of ShoWTimE drops down onto this hatch on the right side. So a few drones, the hatch, all getting tagged in that there as the Stalker and the Warlock is going to be able to keep those Zerglings from running on in. And as you see, double Immortal from ShoWTimE also on the way up here on the natural. Pylon comes in on the front. Actually not sure why that pylon's there. That's so interesting. Is it to try and wall off the Cybercore so the Cybercar can't just be targeted down as easily? Huh. Maybe just warp in here as well if Lings do start to surround so you can warp in around them. It's actually a very interesting pylon placement that I don't feel I've seen all too often. Again, a few Roaches wanting to poke around the left. Lings do run by into the natural and now up into the main. So those Lings are going to go off and get some damage dealt here. There's a few of them going in and picking off a whole bunch of these probes. So probes taking a lot of damage already. Oracle will come in to help defend. A bunch of these Zerglings continuing to go down. 7 workers killed though. This is not the first time today that ShoWTimE has made a mistake in allowing Zerglings to run in towards his main and his natural. It hasn't cost him a game so far letting Lings run by, but it's definitely one of the ways that Zerg will look to get into a very, very strong position. Rock's been targeted down the right side. Here comes a bit of a push here then. Again, there's no prism with this or anything though. It's on its way. Obviously a little bit risky to just sit here on creep waiting around for a warp prism though. I guess he's got force fields, and if he's paying attention, force fields should keep him safe for the most part. Bly just setting a few Roaches out to the far left, as obviously a few Roaches in the mineral line will pick up a few probe kills as well. Bly is starting to go in towards Swarmhost. We actually do see a Dark Shrine on the way actually from ShoWTimE. No Templar Archives, but I think that will only hurt him. Obviously with Dark Shrine you can get Archons up as well. But against Swarmhost especially, a few opportunities to build up in towards you know, Storm and so on would go a long way against Locusts. It really would. Not a terrifying number of Locusts or Swarmhosts up at the moment though. Oracle goes a bit too far forward, somehow gets out of there alive, dropping the Revelation on the entire army at the moment. So ShoWTimE with good tracking on when this road, on where this Roach Ravager is going to be moving. 8 more Swarmhosts on the way out here. Corrosive Biles dropping onto the rocks as well. We still just have this Prism is just wandering around towards the top, around the right, seeing what it can do. Queen going to jump on towards the Warp Prism as well. A couple of Immortals drop down, and they are going to be able to, well, get a little bit of damage done, but obviously doesn't want to lose the Immortals. They have to pick up pretty quick when the Roach count nearby starts to add up. Roach and the Ravage is able to come in here, and they are going to be able to pick off those rocks. So rocks going down. There's a good amount of army chilling out. Does leveling count only if we board it here? No, you can level your war chest on any stream once you own it. GT gonna head in, but a couple of Locusts actually set up here to defend it. It's kind of a master plan is... Ooh, that one's out though, forcing those Locusts to drop. So the first wave of Locusts is not going to be that good. Being kept very far back here. I mean, ShoWTimE barely even has to fight this. He will fight it just for the sake of it's only going to cost him a couple of Zealots. I mean, he really didn't have to. He could have pulled just all the way away. At the same time, he has got DT in the main base. Has picked up 6 kills. DTs elsewhere have found 8 more, making it a 14 worker kill count in the recent times. As ShoWTimE is pressing in against a maxed out Zerg, but he's maxed out on mostly Roaches. Only a few Ravagers really brought in here. The Swarm was on cooldown. Oh my god. Swarm was caught in there by the force fields. Great instant decision making there by ShoWTimE, realizing, oh man, what an opportunity. Boom. Grab myself a few Swarm hosts. Thank you very much. I'll take that trade again. Army coming down to the bottom side as we are going to be seeing the Archons dropping down. Again, this Roach Ravager army setting up to see what's happening. Prism backs away. A few drones going down. I'm just going to be seeing a DT continue to swipe away on the far right. Ooh, multiple Locusts going down there. And we're just going to be seeing the Corrosive Biles dropping in. Roaches and Ravagers still pressing forward. You see more force fields coming through too. Those Immortals and Archons are going huge at the moment, man. The Locusts already on cooldown. So many Swarm hosts lost. I think the momentum is already really, truly just dying off here. And ShoWTimE probably has a bit too much for Bly. Bly also has no upgrades on this army. He's going to try and make Mutalisks. He does kill the Archons. Okay. Well, Stalker's warping in. ShoWTimE's already building Phoenix, whether he saw that Spire or just whether he thinks it's a very likely situation. Okay, he saw the Spire, so he already has Mutas coming. He actually lifts up some of these Swarm hosts already. And the Phoenix against the Mutas, Stalkers too. This army will not be shut down purely by Mutas alone. He even has Blink on the Stalkers as well. Oh my god, ShoWTimE is so prepared for Mutalisks. That Scout, absolutely huge for him. And that means that Bly's kind of Hail Mary attempt of doing something in this game is probably not going to work out. Leaves a few Stalkers and Sentries with the army here to defend Mutas. Has the Phoenix nearby enough to come back and respond to, as these Mutas are just going absolutely nowhere. Looks like he's just going to dive on the army, realizing he needs to try and take this down before too much anti-air maybe comes up into it. But it's probably not looking too great. Because here we go, we see the Mutas. Well, they do get rid of the Warp Prism. The Phoenix are just out of position, that's the issue. Now the Phoenix come in. The Mutas have already been bruised and battered by a couple of Archons and Stalkers, and that's GG. ShoWTimE took that 3-1 win over Bly.